Taipei International Book Exhibition opens to bring visitors into the world of books with new technologies. Tainan Tzu Chi volunteers help build prefabricated classrooms for a damaged local elementary school. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. The 2019 Taipei International Book Exhibition has opened on February 12th. The German pavilion is the major exhibition country among the 52 countries and 10 major sections this year. There's also a section where the vendors found inspiration from books and comics and incorporated Taiwanese culture with VR technologies for the public to experience seeing in the comic personally. The six-day exhibition is estimated to attract over 600,000 visitors. The 2019 Taipei International Book Exhibition has officially opened. One of the 10 themes, the virtual exhibition, has caught many visitors' eyes. Here you can see the scooter for the public to sit on. The fan on the side assimilates the wind blows when riding a scooter. With this VR headset, you can experience the feeling of riding the scooter under the Taipei Bridge. The virtual reality scene shows the scooter sea at the Taipei Bridge. The inspiration came from a scene in the comic Love in the Scooter Sea, which shows on this picture at the exhibition.
The Scooter Sea is an iconic scene that everyone talks about internationally. Our team thus came up with ideas to record the scene with a 360-degree VR technique so that the public can experience it personally here.
The Rhythms Monthly magazine has participated in the exhibition for many years. This year, there are about 6,000 books showing, and there's a special section for the award-winning books. In addition, there are 5 different sections, including Exploring, Discovery, Humanistic Culture, Caring, and Feature books.
We have spent 2 years to put together a book called The Evolution of Early Routes in Taiwan, which introduced the grand journeys from our ancestors in Taiwan history.
The book exhibition's theme is It's a Good Time to Read. In Chinese, it also means that reading is good for you. We want to highlight that regardless of age, location, or types of books, it's always good to read a book whenever and wherever.
This year, there are more than 735 publishers from 52 countries participated. The exhibition will last for 6 days and is estimated to attract over 600,000 people. Love comes with goodwill and allows people to do many good deeds. Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines have held a Lunar New Year ceremony at the Jingsi Hall. Volunteers invited the public to come and cultivate good thoughts, as well as praying for a peaceful world.
菲律宾慈济人向上人拜年，我们会
核心为善，根福田，和气付出大拱桥。
The Philippine Tzu Chi volunteers have conducted a Lunar New Year blessing ceremony at the Jingsi Hall in Quezon City. The public members were also invited, such as teachers and students. In addition, the volunteers share stories of Tzu Chi volunteers' unconditional giving in terms of helping the impoverished people around the world.
No matter who you are, you have the capacity to give. You don't have to be rich.
Her father.
The volunteers also take to the stage to share how they help the Typhoon Haiyan affected residents, inspiring those in the audience.
We really wanted to go to Ormoc City and also the province of Leyte to visit affected residents, as well as understanding how Tzu Chi volunteers have helped them throughout the years. After knowing the situation, I'll see what I can do to help those survivors.
At the end of the ceremony, everyone sincerely prays for a peaceful and harmonious world. They hope the spirit of great love can be passed down to one another in the upcoming years.
To celebrate Lunar New Year, Tzu Chi volunteers in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor, Malaysia, held a reunion with care recipients with many delicious dishes. What was different this time was that the event was held at the home of one of the care recipients. Let's take a look.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Selangor, Malaysia, hold the annual reunion for the Lunar New Year. However, the venue is at the home of Yokimpo, a care recipient.
Many care recipients live around here, so when the volunteers asked me if they could hold the event at my place, I said sure, because I like excitement.
People love excitement for the Lunar New Year. People gather for the reunion feast. The volunteers personally cook all the dishes.
Actually, it was we elderly women did the cooking. It was a challenge for us to give an auspicious name to each dish, so we brainstormed and came up with an auspicious name for every dish.
Yushan is a traditional dish for Malaysian Chinese. They give each other best wishes while scooping up the food. The gifts are small tokens of appreciation. One volunteer dresses up as the god of fortune and gives out gifts. 13 care recipients' families came together and delivered their best wishes for each other for the Lunar New Year.
In Tainan, Longgang Elementary School was deemed a dangerous building since the February 6 Tainan earthquake last year. Since the school was torn down for reconstruction, Tzu Chi has helped the school build prefabricated classrooms. However, a need for even more classrooms led volunteers to construct 4 additional prefabricated classrooms.
In the activity center, the wooden pieces partitioned the space for different classes. The health center is also here. These filing cabinets fill the stage. Meanwhile, in the prefabricated classrooms, the children have a different feeling attending classes.
The prefabricated classrooms are very quiet. No one disturbs us during classes.
It is very noisy in the activity center since it is not soundproof.
Tzu Chi helped build these 2 prefabricated classrooms, which are being used as an office and a specialized class. However, there's still a need for more classrooms. Therefore, volunteers started construction again, planning to build another 4 prefabricated classrooms. The teachers and students look forward to the new prefabricated classrooms. Meanwhile, they're also conducting a moral education class outdoors.
The prefabricated classrooms do not come easily. We are able to have such resources because of a group of people's help and Tzu Chi's donation. We're quite happy that they gave us some gifts. We feel extremely delighted.
Knowing that children's education is very important, the volunteers hope through their help the children can learn happily here.
Fujian Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for Chen Ping, who has lost her mobility 10 years ago, but has never received medical help due to her impoverished background. Her case was reported to Tzu Chi, and volunteers have continued to care for her since last October. Chen Ping's condition has improved with volunteers' companionship, and she was even able to speak once again. This tiny room only has 2 beds, a desk, and a closet. This is Chen Ping's house. She lost her mobility 10 years ago and can only sit in a wheelchair now. Staff from the Fujian Disabled Persons Federation introduced Chen Ping's case to me, asking if I can come help her at her house. He said the government can offer such thoughtful assistance. After they were connected, Tzu Chi started to care for Chenping. In 2 months, about 50 volunteers have came to provide assistance to her.
The first time we saw her, we could barely see her face. Her hair was mazy and blocked her eyes. Her body was stiff, so we gave her a bath and cut her hair.
After improving her living condition, volunteers hope to heal her illness, taking Chenping to the hospital with her husband's accompaniment.
The doctor hasn't found out the cause of her illness yet, but our care and love will always be with her.
Chenping seldom speaks because she was always home alone. However, she expressed her gratitude to the volunteer after going to the hospital. Volunteers visited her again before the Lunar New Year to give her a fresh look and deliver a Tzu Chi monthly magazine so that she can enjoy the holiday with joy and warmth. After Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico, the many affected residents have been relying on their own strength and also the financial assistance from Tzu Chi volunteers to slowly rebuild their homes. Step by step, they have made great progress both materially and spiritually.
Todo esto se fue, mira, si tú miras, todo está roto, está todo roto. Está todo destruido ahí atrás. Todavía yo tengo eso ahí atrás.
All of this is gone. If you look over here, all of this is damaged, completely damaged. Everything is destroyed back there. We were in Hurricane Maria's path. This house was almost completely destroyed. Everything was made out of wood. I saw my house and went flying. Please understand that we really did lose everything. It took me 3 weeks and 4 days to build this villa. Here is where we are going to start. For the rest of the roof part, I decided to make concrete walls because they are safer and more secure. I continued to do research and worked on anything that I could find. I still need to spend a little bit more money on the house because it's necessary. I want to live comfortably. All of this is still under construction. There's still a lot to be done here. This wall and this wall is what I'm working on now. I will try to finish it by tomorrow.
Been helping him and my father rebuild the house. It has been difficult, but it's still possible.
The meaning of the bracelet is the tree of life. It's a heartfelt gift for what you all do for each one of us. Thank you all so much. I received a card with $600 in it. Also a solar-powered light to use for when the lights go out.
I see that there's a lot of dedication, hope, and love in all of them. They take us down a positive path, letting us know that not all is lost. We received this coin bank so that we too can help other families like us. We always have something to give, just a little on the side. Thank you all for the help. We are going to give back whatever we have. It won't be completely filled, but it will accumulate little by little. Each person is capable of contributing something to help others who are in worse off situations than ourselves. We are doing something meaningful to help those who may have lost everything and have lost all hope.
In today's featured story, we look at reclaimed water used by China Steel. Steelmaking requires a lot of water resources as the company believes each drop of water should be used 5 times. In fact, the company's water recovery rate is 98.3%. China Steel can save at least 25,000 tons of tap water every day, which can in turn be used by households, helping Taiwan save precious water resources. Here is our in-depth report. Trucks are busily carrying steel products in and out of the factory. This is Shaogang, the most representative industrial area in Kaohsiung. The steelmaking process is very water-intensive, and China Steel will use 130,000 tons of new tap water on average every day. During drought season, it's not only China Steel, but other major industrial plants in Taiwan which also worry about water.
Estimates from the Water Resources Agency finds that supply of industrial water is lacking in Kaohsiung, Tainan, Taichung, and Taoyuan. If there's a water shortage, households won't lack water, but industries will.
Once water supply becomes tight, industrial companies need to contact farmland irrigation associations or other NGOs to buy water.
Our truck has 35 tons of water. Basically, when there's no shortage of water, the cost is only about $60 to $100. But when there's a water shortage, it will cost $300.
Companies with high economic output are willing to pay big sums of money to buy water. However, in order to save costs, many major factories will also construct a water recycling system in the factory.
All of the water used in our facility must be requisitioned and later approved. During our review, our basic management principle is to reduce the amount of water and reuse it as much as possible.
China Steel has many different water use systems, with each one reuses water.
Here is our purification plant for industrial wastewater. We have ultra-thin film and reverse osmosis procedures, and even ion exchange to purify water for factory use.
The first process, after completion, undergoes a cooling process, after which new water is added. After some is discharged, a secondary water process is undertaken, including precipitation and filtration. Then it is cooled with new water added and some discharged, and then the third water treatment process gets underway all the way to the fifth stage. The final industrial wastewater process involves UF or RO, and before returning to the original process. The water that cannot be recycled will be discharged into the stream after meeting the wastewater treatment standards. About 20% will be returned, as the concept is that every drop of water is used 5 times, allowing China Steel to achieve a water recovery rate of 98.3%. Since August 2018, the Fengshan Wastewater Treatment Center produces 25,000 tons of reclaimed water from Kaohsiung's household effluent each day, supplying China Steel and CSAC, alleviating their growing demand for water.
At the China Steel factory, we can see the 7.2-kilometer water pipe, which transports water from the Fengshan Wastewater Treatment Center. It can supply 24,000 tons of reclaimed water per day to China Steel.
Climbing up to the reservoir, one sees a large pool of water which resembles a swimming pool. There are 2 effluent pipes, one black and one green, which are 2 important sources of water for China Steel.
This green water pipe is tap water. The black water pipe is reclaimed water. It only started in August of 2018. Because of this reclaimed water, our dependence on tap water has reduced. Now about 20% of the water used by China Steel is from reclaimed water.
There are 4 reservoirs here with a total storage capacity of 177,000 tons. The tap water supplied by the Taiwan Water is mixed together with reclaimed water from Fengshan Wastewater Treatment Center to make industrial use water that is needed for the steelmaking process, with the water quality adjusted according to each process.
From the blast furnace converter to the cold pressing and rolling process at the back end, there are different water needs. In the later stage of the cold pressing and rolling process, the water quality required is relatively high.
When you come to the factory, you can see how the reclaimed water from Fengshan is mixed with other water in the steelmaking process.
After the Fengshan reclaimed water comes in, it goes to our cold well, then goes to our wire factory. It needs to be used for the production of wire. Afterwards, the water will collect here, and then we pump it back for this process. The steel mill uses a lot of water. We need nearly 130,000 tons of water from Donggang River every day. If we say that we can use recycled water, then we can save some 25,000 tons of tap water from Donggang River. Our original water source can be used for households, so this helps two ways.
At the final stage of wastewater discharge, one can see that the industrial water, which was once dark and brown with layers of impurities, is subjected to filtration with impurities removed, becomes environmental-friendly wastewater, which is clear. This completes its journey and it can be discharged into the saltwater stream.
I think water conservation is a social responsibility that corporations need to uphold. The cost of using reclaimed water is not that high if you count the amount of equipment put at risk if you run out of water, so it is worth it in the long run. The Industrial Development Bureau talks about water recycling in Taiwan. This includes internal circulation of water, which is about 65%, which they hope to increase to 80% in the future.
A lot of energy is needed to produce reclaimed water, with some saying we are paying for this water through more electricity. Experts attending international water conferences believe the global trend is energy-saving reclaimed water systems, as they believe this will be yet another important goal for Taiwan in the future. In Taichung, we will meet two senior volunteers who both are in their 80s. They have been doing recycling for more than 20 years. Although they are not related, but they treat each other like real sisters. The recycling station is not only the place to store the recyclables, but also it is home to all the volunteers.
At the Tainan Tzu recycling station, 83-year-old Huang Liao Shouying has been doing recycling with 84-year-old Wu Zhuang Jingzhou. As they are sorting the PET bottles, both of them have been doing recycling for more than 20 years. Huang Liao Shouying, who has high blood pressure, underwent a heart surgery. While doing recycling, her health condition has improved.
I have been volunteering in Tzu Chi for more than 20 years. I have maintained good health ever since doing recycling.
For her, she treated 84-year-old Wu Zhuang Jingzhou like her own sister. No matter where she goes, she will always bring Jingzhou with her. And whenever there is delicious food, she will always bring some for her. Jingzhou is a dementia sufferer who has once gotten lost. Fortunately, after she started volunteering at the recycling station, her health condition improved.
I was deeply touched by their friendship. It's like Dharma Master Zhen Yan had mentioned, being able to care for others with unconditional giving. You don't need to send one to the nursing home. As the recycling station, we can also take care of others.
The recycling station is like one big family. The volunteers are always there for each other and taking care of one another.
A chain bakery in Kaohsiung launched a campaign to give out free breads to call for more people to donate their blood in order to keep a sufficient blood bank supplied in Taiwan. We will leave you with these images and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.